Ooh, that sun is bright. Alright, welcome everybody. This is the first video of my road trip series where I'm going to visit a bunch of dreadlock artists all over the place. So you probably can't tell where I am with this backdrop. Any guesses? Give you a little hint. Definitely a city. Yep, a Jeep. You know, that belongs to a dreadlock artist. I am in Philly. Da-da-da-da!
Welcome!
Thanks, Crissa! My name is Liz and I'm a dreadlock artist from New Hampshire. One of the things I'm passionate about is building a stronger dreadlock community. So this spring I randomly decided to hit the road for a couple of weeks and just connect with a bunch of other dreadlock artists. I filmed it all and now I'm here to share their stories with you. It's amazing. So I feel like it is only fitting that my first video is of my dear friend Crissa.
I love it, dude. I'm so happy you're here. I've been telling my clients that it's like a speakeasy. You need to know like the password to get inside.
I love it.
I do really love it. I really love that like people can't walk in off the street.
Very private.
Yeah. So this is our studio, 208.
The big reveal.
Welcome, welcome.
And another face. Hi, Jenna. All right, so Crissa, I would love for you to just share a little bit about your story. How the heck did you get to where you are today?
Magic. That's my honest answer. Legit magic. The universe and choosing to lock my hair is actually how I got to be here today. I chose to lock my hair 2004. And looking back on it now, I think it's just because it was more texture in the hair. I had perms growing up. I always wanted curly hair. I honestly wanted an afro. I just was really attracted to texture, and I chose to lock up my hair back then before anybody was doing crocheting. I had natural locks that were wiggly and zigzaggy, and my ends shrunk up, and I called them my dookie balls. And my hair just did things that I didn't even know dreadlocks could do. Fast forward to me joining roller derby and meeting a good friend of mine, Candace, who was fascinated with my hair and who was making synthetic dreads. And she was just like, hey, that's cool, like maybe I could help you. She was in beauty school, and she did help me with my hair to the best of her knowledge. And when she opened her first salon, Salon Sugar, I was her first client. And she talked about wanting to lock her hair, and I offered to help her. And right around that time, I had read on a dreadlock forum about people, I believe in Thailand, that were using crochet hooks to create locks and to fix loops, lumps, and bumps. And that's what got my attention, because that was the craziness in my hair that I wanted to fix. And I was like, I want to do that with a hook. And so when I agreed to help her with her hair, she asked me, do you want to try those hooks out? And I was like, sure. So she pre-sectioned her hair, and it took me over 10 hours to back home and crochet her hair. And I can't even tell you what my method looked like. I was probably just doing a stabbing. I was just messing around. I just remember just being like, this is amazing. Like with every dread I created, I was like, this is incredible. And I have to say, like, looking back, like the first time I picked up a hook and I did all that, like that's fucking impressive. My story is long, like there's a lot from Salon Sugar to Rebel Rebel to where we're sitting right now, and that's honestly a 14-year span almost now. I was in my mid-30s and just wanting to find what I wanted to be when I grew up, and I finally found it. And my career, I get all emotional talking about that, my career has just presented itself. The skill set is learned. As I became more fluent with my hands and things become more muscle memory and you become more confident, and that's when the connection with clients came. And that is absolutely 100% without a doubt what has propelled me through my career. What I think sets this apart from anything else is the connection with my clients and that family, that community that we've built. I've had the opportunity to meet you and meet tons and tons of other dreadlock artists, and we're growing our industry, and that's been such an incredible part of my career as well, to be a part of that and to watch that. It's been a beautiful ride, my entire career.
So jumping ahead a little, tell us a little bit about this new space. What's up with this?
This is my gift to myself and my gift to my clients. I did things very backwards than most dreadlock artists. I feel like most dreadlock artists started out on their own, by themselves, without any guidance, without any support, and I didn't. I started with Candace, and I had Morgan that I brought in, and then Erica wanted to learn locks, and then Jenna. So I've always had the opportunity to work with other stylists, and I have my dreadlock artist friends, but I've never really worked by myself. And owning a salon the last couple years has taught me a lot about myself, and I have zero regrets, but I wasn't all there. I wasn't able to connect in the way that I wanted to, and it was really, honestly, the hardest decision of my life, aside from having my daughter, to close Rebel Rebel. It was so meaningful to me. Probably one of the most meaningful experiences in my life. But my soul needed quieter. My soul needed simpler and more intimate. And this was my answer. At the end of the day, it took me months to decide to close Rebel Rebel. It was weird. It was weird to like shut down, like, and we're successful. Like, we didn't close our salon because we weren't successful. We were very successful. But all of us really have just been feeling called in different ways in our careers and in our lives. And for me, this was an opportunity to create something more intimate and just more meaningful to me, and for my clients. And I was intending on being here completely by myself. And Jenna really wasn't intending on being in a space, but I found the space, and it had a water hookup, and I was like, hey girl, like, it's definitely big enough for a second chair. Like, I don't really want an employee at all, but we can do this where you can have your own business, and you know, we just share a space, and here we are. And we've only been open officially for 2 weeks. Not even. I think Tuesday will be 2 weeks. And it already feels like home. I just wanted a different experience. And for me to be able to run my business just for me allows me a life on my days off. And you and I have talked about that a lot. Liz was definitely the first person I actually spoke to about, like, hey girl, like, I'm thinking about doing this, and like, you did this, like, you had a salon, and like, you went to a small private studio, and like, oh.
And I was like, hell yes.
Yeah, but you also like validated the feelings that I was having. Like, what does that say about me? Am I a failure? Like, did I and it's like, no, like, you didn't fail. You tried something, and it's not, it was right in that moment, and it's not right now. And you're not like being any less of yourself by having a smaller space. I love my career, and I love my job, and I love my clients, but I also want to live my life a little bit now. And it's giving me that freedom to do that already in 2 weeks. Already feeling like and it feels good.
I've been doing hair now for about 15 years, brushable hair. Dreadlocks for about 2.5. After the pandemic, I really realized that I couldn't find a niche at all. I just was floating around doing whatever I was told to do. And I didn't like that. I wanted to be good at something. I don't even want to say master at something, but I wanted to really focus on one thing. I met Erica about 6 years ago. We worked together in Fishtown. I took out tape and extensions, and I figured out how to make a dreadlock out of it, and I taped it back into my head. Super weird, yep. Don't know how I did it, but she sat next to me and watched me do this. Her and I we hit it off, and we really hated where we worked. And we agreed one day that we had to quit. You know, after that, we split. She started working for Rebel Rebel. I started working for a different salon, and Erica started doing dreadlock. So I reached out to her. I said I want to do my whole head, And I was Erica's first full head with extensions, and it took 14 hours. I couldn't afford human hair at the time, so I got super silky synthetic hair, and I swear to this day, Erica hates me for that, but we had a good time. But I loved it. I kind of going back to what Crissa had mentioned about just loving texture, and my hair is very straight. And I just always go back to that little tape-in that I made myself, and it was just, I loved decorating it and putting beads on it, and reached out to Erica to hit it, to get a maintenance, and I really expressed to myself how miserable I was after the pandemic. The hair industry was just brutal, and that's when I kind of started apprenticing. They purchased Rebel, and they were ready to take me on, and it's been amazing ever since. I still have a very amazing group of regular brushable hair clients that I love, but I don't even really want to take that on anymore. And I'm here.
So what do you love about doing dreadlocks?
It's gonna sound super basic, but I do really enjoy doing maintenances. It's always so funny to me that a client will sit in the chair and be like, I'm a mess, it's so bad, you're not gonna believe it, it's been 3 months, and it's like, in my head, I'm like, I haven't had mine in 9 months? When I do haircuts and things, there's hair dryers, there's clippers, there's noise. So when I can sit with a client and do just maintenance, I'm able to talk and laugh and be funny or be serious or whatever that person needs to get off their chest or wants to keep, I don't know. But it's just always nice to have that little bit of quiet time. But yeah, I like maintenances, extensions, all that is just great. I'm still, treading lightly.
She can do everything.
You know the jump in there.
She can do everything. All of it.
Hang on, my camera wanted to not refocus. So here's my big question after hearing your story.
Okay.
Is I feel like you were saying when you were doing brushable hair, you didn't ever felt like you were like truly like specializing in it, or maybe even like fulfilled by it as a career. Like, do you feel like you found that now?
Oh, 100%. 100%, yeah. Yeah, I like doing hair now. I used to not.
Yeah.
Which sucks, but yeah. I actually like what I do again. Let's look up a tiny bit more.
Okay, I would love for Crissa to give us a little studio tour.
Sure.
Wherever you want to start.
Well, I love that this is just like one space to show you. I'm super happy to have a smaller, more intimate space and to have a whole lot less to clean. So this entire room is our studio. It was really interesting trying to figure out how we wanted to set this up, going from such a large salon to a small space. And I've done that in my life and like minimalized a lot of things in my house. And as soon as Jenna walked in here, she was like, well, we need to utilize the wall space. So a lot of things are on the outside with just more open area here. This is our reception area. It is also our break area, so we can sit and eat too. And I found this really cute little retro seat. I did a lot of hunting on Facebook Marketplace. I wanted to find some useful things. Jenna and I are both really short. So initially it was like, we have like this little stool that opens up over here so we can get up to our plants and things like that. We got like really fancy,
ooh.
so like I feel very bougie with like I take control of the remote control. We were talking about putting bird feeders out there too.
That'd be wicked cute.
There's a pole that goes right across so you can hang them from. It's a rooftop out there. We were very excited to bring plants into the shop. Your studio is definitely an inspiration for that. Just to have some life in here. And yeah, we have a shampoo area. This was one reason why I picked this studio, because this was had a water hookup in it. And now Jenna's here and she does color. She wouldn't have been able to do this without a shampoo bowl.
Yes.
So yeah. So this is Jenna's station. You want to give a tour of your station?
Sure. So this is my little color area. It's a little messy.
Ooh.
That out. I like to be very organized, so that was very important. Lovely Amazon purchase. Husband did not approve. It was in 1,001 pieces. But
Oh no.
He said it was 3,000 pieces.
3 hours. Thank you, Nick. But yeah, totally functional. Holds everything. Everything I need.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and it actually even to plug in.
Oh,
So-
that's really cool.
And yes, my lovely yellow door.
Are you gonna tell me about the Rubik's Cube? Because you commented on that earlier.
Well, Crissa had always had a puppet for clients that are a little sensitive. I like the idea of the pop-up, but I was like, damn, there's gotta be something else. And thought of the Rubik's Cube, and coincidentally, my husband bought it for me over the weekend. So
that is
just
perfect.
Yep.
Take their mind off.
Yeah.
This is my station. It feels like home already. I definitely wanted to bring our barber chairs in. These are only a couple years old. I love them. I bought this when I had my nerve issue to give me an opportunity to recline my clients, and our clients love that. This is my door. It's been my original door forever. I couldn't even imagine not bringing it with me. It is just my favorite. I kind of based the color scheme around the yellow and orange. That rug was the first piece that I found that like decided what this was going to be. I've had this at my station since I started working like 14 years ago. This was, I forget what year.
Look at your dress.
I know, they're not even a day old in that picture. And I just added this. So these are my pugs. I've been having their skulls cleaned. When I watched your video with Ashley and she's like, I like dead things and I have dead things. And I was like, oh, I could put them in the salon. Like I could put them up, and I've been looking for the appropriate vessel. So I just made that last weekend, and that's their final resting place. That's Dude and Boba, and I'm just like really excited to have them next to my station so I can see them every day. It's kind of weird and like also just like the sweetest fucking thing. One thing that I'm super excited about, so we were talking about photo areas. You need like a decent sized wall, especially for tall people, and like I didn't want to deal with that big screen anymore. And I was in here one day and I was just standing here, I put this decal up and I was like taking a picture and I was like, oh, that's an awesome background. And I had been talking about one of these for a while, like because I saw one of my tattoo artists had one at her shop and they like use it like overhead on top of a table. But like, and boom. And like this thing has like, I don't know what I'm gonna do with this guy. You know, like cool effects.
That's funny.
I will miss a little bit of that clean background, but I don't know, it's also just a different chapter in life.
Yeah, new branding. My personal favorite part
honestly, a lot of people have been like, yo, where did you get that closet from? I'm like, dude, IKEA has been making these closets for years because I bought one when Corinne. Honestly,
I can't even get the whole thing in there.
Like about 20 years ago. So these are IKEA PAX closets and they are completely customizable. So I really wanted to make this a multi-use unit. Like I have some mannequin heads up there and some paper towels and cleaning products and like my this crazy toolbox. But this is for wraps, like during maintenance appointments. And
I love organization.
Yeah, I love this stuff. This is honestly, I'm so much happier with a sari silk like this than just in drawers. Simple beads that like for free with our, with our wraps and stuff. We can do that. Hemp storage of human hair in different colors. Extra dolly locks products. And then here I hung our synthetic hair. We're gonna give this a try and see how crazy this gets. Because if you play with synthetic hair and you know how it gets like afterwards, like you just have to be really organized with putting it back neatly. And then I only had room for one of these, but I did put synthetic hair in them, more of the eye kictions and like more naturals, and embroidery floss, and our first aid kit, and then like a vacuum and mop and everything in there on the side.
The catch-all.
Yeah.
And the seat looks comfy.
Yeah. This is Cozy Joe.
Cozy Joe.
Cozy Joe.
Oh yes, work it.
Yes. I don't know, I wanted this to feel more like your living room, like just something cozy and
hang out.
Yeah, exactly. This is our product area, and it's just a little bit of everything that I love. I really just want to bring in the things that like speak to me. And I've actually curated a couple different things with some of our own clients that make beads, so they're really freaking cool. And just got these in from our client Robbie, who I don't see often because he freeforms his hair, but he just did some glass blowing, and some of these are actually UV reactive, which is really freaking cool. It's a little glow in the black light, some will glow in the dark. And then these are really my good friend and client Ashley, Lady Hawk Spirit Craft. She found some vertebrae in the forest, and she did copper electroforming of the vertebrae. She thinks they might be from like an opossum. She couldn't really tell, but like really freaking different stuff. I just brought these in. One client, Juliana, she was wearing one of these pieces. This is from Echo Soul Creations. These are really beautiful, like delicate macrame wraps. Of course, Heather Fish. She's my fave. And then Jenna and I just have some of our wraps here. Lots of beads, toggle locks. Brought these in from Zara, and I am honestly like really obsessed with this. I always want like my hair to be up on top, and I don't like to use elastics at all. And the scrunchies, when she sent me that one, oh my God, like it's the first time I've really been wearing my hair up in years, comfortably and like very proudly. That's amazing. Like,
Tag and all.
Like to me, like that's incredible. And then this is just like, just a little, like our little spiritual area. My partner is co-owner of Middle Path Minerals, which is a mineral shop here in Philadelphia. So I just brought in some of his hand stones. It does smell really yummy in here, and we attribute that to our incense and smudging, and also to our DREADLOX products, 100%. So this is our retail display, and we exclusively carry DREADLOX products here, along with a clarifying shampoo as well. So yeah.
So, funny story, I can't seem to find the last clip to this video where I like end it, which isn't really surprising since my digital life is kind of a mess and it's about to get a whole lot worse on this road trip with the amount of filming that I'm doing. Or it's also possible I just forgot to film an ending, one or the other. But yeah, anyway, it was such an honor for me to be able to document the start of this new chapter for Crissa and Jenna. Both of these girls are amazing dreadlock artists in Philly, so if you're in the area or willing to travel, you should definitely check them out. Cheers. Next up, there's more dreadlock action right here in Philly. Stay tuned. You see that, Luke? We need to practice. And lastly, I just want to thank my generous road trip sponsors. Thank you guys so much for supporting me, for everything that it takes to put these videos together. I'm so, so grateful.